Hey, it's me, Marky Joe, here to entertain you. Yes, it is my show. It exists. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
Yeah. Alright, the semi-final commentary. It's not the final commentary because I split the final chapter in two parts. Anyway, click. Chapter fucking 22, The Dragon's Altar. Okay, so now we're heading up to the heavens. The place we seized in the previous chapter didn't look like it was all that big compared to the mountains it was near, but I guess the game wants us to pretend. I like how the opening text describes the inside of this tower place thing. Like, fearful roaring and breathing sounds can be heard. I don't know if you have ever been in a dark room before, but hearing the sound of breathing while you're all alone is shit-tastically scary. That's kind of what I imagine the Dragon's Altar being like. This large, dark place with this foreboding presence of breathing echoing through the chambers. Like you're just walking, your footsteps just echo across the ground, and you just hear this fucking pulsating breathing. That's a pretty fucking scary image if that is one, you know? Anyway, apparently Narga sealed the Earth Dragons away here. Now it's our turn to send these bitches back to hell. The final chapter is separated into 3 maps. The team you deploy on the first of the maps will stay with you until the last one, so you better make damn sure that you're picking the right units. However, there's an extra catch. As we can see here, Marth wants to specifically bring characters that are worried about the 4 maidens. Garneth captured, if you recall throughout the game's dialogue, 4 maidens. You got the Princess of Acania, which is Nina, one of the princesses of Macedonia, which is Maria, the Princess of Aricia, which is Alice, and the one girl of the 4 who isn't a princess for some reason, Rena. I don't know. I guess she's just special. If you haven't figured it out yet, Tuxedo Mask is Camus, and that's the dude that Nina was in love with in book 1. Then you got Minerva, who's the older sister of Maria. You got Batman, who is in love with Alice. And lastly, we've got Julian, who's in love with Rena. Now, some of these characters, it's a bit of a stretch to assume that they have any relation with the maidens. Like, for example, Batman, like, I'm pretty sure that he's intertwined with somebody else, you know? And, you know, Commissioner Gordon, his butler. But for some reason, you're supposed to just assume that he's in love with Alice. Even though there's almost no fucking indication except for maybe the ending of book 1, and that's about it. But anyway, you gotta bring all 4 of them. Because it will make the final battle way less difficult and also less horribly fucked up. I'll explain what I mean when we get to the final battle. One last thing. Make sure that Marth has at least 33 HP. My Marth only has 32 HP. This is bad. If you don't have at least 33 HP on Marth, the final battle is going to be luck-based. And bear in mind that you get no save points between any of the 3 maps of the final chapter. So if you fuck up at any point and want to have to restart, you are in some deep, deep shit. Unless, of course, you have save states or rewinds. But for people who were playing the game on, like, the original console or whatever, that's the shit that they had to deal with. So, and since this is a commercial game, you have to treat it as such. You know, you should treat it with respect. Don't use save states. Of course, this game, the fact that it puts you through that stuff is fucking dumb. Anyway, let's get to the actual map, shall we? The first one, which we're watching here, consists of demon dragons, dark bishops, and barbarians. As if the barbarians weren't annoying enough to kill, now they're packing 18 defense and 47 HP. Even Samto with the Miracle Sword can't one-round kill these guys unless he gets a lucky critical hit. This shit is what I'm talking about when I said Book 2 seems prepared for the player to have super strong units by this point. And it terrifies me to think of how somebody would deal with this chapter if they didn't know they could increase and modify growth rates using the Star Shards and Star Orb. The final segment of the map, which we're not at yet, but we're getting close. We just need to bring Julian up to the doorway. The final segment of the map has you open, like, one of the 2 doors. And it's really cool, because there's enemies of all types loaded inside this, like, kind of small room. We'll see that in a moment. Honestly, I'll halt the commentary just a little bit so that you guys can see. I don't even know why I'm moving all these units. Because, well, I guess some of them are useful for fighting the enemies inside, but for the most part, like, well, some of them just don't have a point. I guess I'm just trying to be extra prepared because I'm paranoid, because this game slows beans, and if you make a mistake and have to restart, that's a lot of time you just wasted. Okay, so, anyway. Damn it, we're not close to the fucking door yet. Dang, I did not expect this script to somehow be short. I wrote up fucking... What is this, 3 pages? I wrote up, like, at least 3 essays with this whole commentary shit. Anyway, Tiki doing the flying thing, and doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop, gotta do a dance, gotta sing arbitrarily until they get to the door. Hooray. Hooray, gotta wait a bit. There's Batman. He's chilling with the maid, and there we go. Okay, so... yeah, the final segment of this map where you open the door is really cool. There's enemies of all types loaded inside, and most of them charge straight for you. If you don't have door keys, you're inevitably gonna put a thief, in this case Julian, in danger by just opening the door, which forces you to commit to pulling other units inside just to protect your thief. What commences is an exciting, chaotic battle where you have to go all in on offense or die miserably. Or, you know, risk one of your dudes getting killed. Because look at all these fucking dudes in here. Anyway, once I got close enough to kill the boss, the boss dragon with the Worm Slayer with Santo, I had Marth dive straight onto that fucking throne because that ends the chapter regardless of what other enemies are nearby. I know I didn't fetch any of the chests in the chapter. Fuck the chests, I don't give a shit. The end of the game is so close, and I'm already kind of over-prepared. So the remaining treasures can go fucking live the rest of their lives in solitary confinement for all I care. Okay. It's worth noting that this is like one of the first few times that the Dark Dragons have, like, been a prominent enemy. They're kind of a nightmare because they have, like, I think 15 defense and 20 resistance. So unless you have dragon slaying weapons, you're basically not gonna be doing much damage to them whatsoever. Also, fuck these Dolam dudes. Like, shit. Creepy animation, too, I gotta say. Bam. Come on, Mark. Finish the chapter faster. What are you waiting for? Oh, that's right. Okay, I see what I'm doing. Okay, so I have Santo get danced, and because he has a Dragon Slayer, or he just uses the Miracle Sword, he can kill the dragon. Thank God for that shit. And Marth can just... well, first I gotta kill this guy, and then Marth can dive straight into that throne. And, you know, these barbarians... you know, you guys have been soundly defeated. I'd say, why don't you join our team? You know, give us a little ride. Save the world. You're pretty strong, merry men. Anyway. This is map 2. So, you're probably noticing something. Shitloads of dark bishops. Or turtles, as I called them in chapter 20. But what's this? Oh shit, it's Garneth! I'll be honest, he's just as much of a pussy as... sorry, let me rephrase. He's just as much a pussy at fighting as he was before, but he's got way scarier friends to help him this time. Namely, those dark bishops. And also the demon dragons a bit. This chapter is just those 2 enemy types. The dark bishops have long-range meteor tomes, Dolem tomes that bring your HP to 1, as I've mentioned before, and other various high-level magic. So basically, this is perhaps the second most intricate death trap in the entire game, next to Akania Castle in chapter 19. You know, the chapter where I warped Yumina in. Speaking of which, we're gonna do a very similar strategy here to win the map. You see, I have only 1 warp and rescue staff use left. And I was hell-bent on using them here, because otherwise this chapter is slow as beans. I wanted to warp Linda to destroy Garneth's sorry ass, but unfortunately, with only 1 warp use, I'm forced to use Yumina again, since she has a rescue staff. You know, and she's the only one who can use it. So, what I do is I warp her near Garneth, but not too close. She has to kill some of the nearby enemies so that she can bait Garneth out and not risk getting fucking mauled by everything in the world. And this takes a couple turns, but it's well worth the wait because I'm too lazy to play this chapter properly. That, and if I somehow lose on the final battle, I want to have a safe, easy strategy so I can quickly get back to where I was. Anyway, once Yumina's killed enough enemies, we're gonna take the risk and pull Garnif out of his comfort zone. But first, we need to wait some more because I need to kill these 2 demon dragons. These guys are a pain in the ass because I need to rely on Yumina getting critical hits. And as you can see, she only has 14 crit chance on these dudes. So what I have to do is, on player phase, I have to attack them and then heal Yumina if she takes any damage. And, you know, and then she'll attack again on enemy phase when they inevitably attack her. I need, I think, at least one critical hit for this shit to work out. Because otherwise, she just doesn't do enough damage. Like I said, these demon dragons have 20 fucking resistance. Your strongest magic just isn't gonna do jack shit to them, unless it's Linda's Aura Tome, in which it might maybe do something of worth to them. I switched from the Resire Tome to the Thoron Tome just because I want more crit, and because at this point I'm not in too much danger to die, because Yumina has very impressive resistance and pretty good HP. And this dude just doesn't deal enough damage to, like, straight up take her out. So, you know, I just start using the Thoron Tome, and if she takes damage, I just heal her up with a Reblow Staff. You know, long-range blow. Okay, you know what? That's fucked up. Yumina is, like, what, 13 years old? It's strange that she became such a fucking useful unit throughout this game, but when you have Rescue Staff exclusivity, I guess it becomes inevitable in some ways. Okay, so are you gonna fucking kill the dude soon? Please? God, I really should have cut this part out, shouldn't I? Oh my god, wow, another fucking meteor, what a surprise! Please get 2 crits. Oh, hooray. Wow, 48 HP, that's a lot of damage. You might have noticed that I am warping the cursor over to Yumina by using the unit menu, which I mean, I've used it a few times in the previous chapters, but I only just started getting used to using it here. And I gotta say, for anybody who is playing the game, I highly recommend using it if you want to move specific units, because it does make the game go by a tiny bit faster. Unfortunately, this game is just fucking slow as balls. Oh, please get a crit! Oh my god, you're putting the commentary on halt, Yumina, please! I'm running out of shit to say, and I know I've said that in a million other commentaries before this in the playthrough, but, for real! Ish. I don't know. There, Malaysia used the reserve staff. Now you can see the animation. It's not the only staff whose animation we're gonna see this, playthrough, so keep that in mind. Ah, there we go! Yay! You killed the demon dragon! And the one that's low down there won't approach because she's too far away. And anyway, it's time to pull Garnif out of his comfy chair so he can get his sorry ass blown up by the Milky Way. Check that shit out. Yes, the Milky Way. I heard it's high in dairy, but unfortunately, I have the math spell, which is high in grain and sugar. Yes, beware the carbohydrates. Wait, what? What? Oh shit, fuck, oh god! Oh shit, not another one, please, dear god! Oh fuck, no, no, Now all Yumina has to do is survive the upcoming enemy phase. And then, after that, rescue Staff Marth, and watch as he takes yet another throne. But it's not the final throne. This chapter also has treasure chests, but again, fuck them, because after this, we basically only have one more enemy to fight. So, like, I don't even see the point. I guess if one of them has, like, an angelic robe, I could have given it to Marth, but no, I don't want to fucking bother. I'll just deal with RNG. Wow. I'm really glad that Yumina dodged there, because that would have been really bad. Okay, there we go. Okay, come on. Rescue Staff Marth. Yes, yes, yes! See, the warp and the rescue staff both got used to death. And now we're on to the final chapter. Oh shit! Stairway leading up. There's a okay, anyway. let's get to the point. This is the final chapter of the game for realsies, for tootsies, and for truesies. So the dude in the middle of the hex, the creepy symbol shit is Medeus. Remember how he looked like your grumpy grandfather in book 1? Well, Medeus went to the spa, and now he feels 50 years scarier. So here's the deal with this map. Your goal is to kill Medeus, or Medeus. I keep mixing the names up between the localization and what this game translated it as. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, only the Falchion can damage him, and that thing can only be wielded by Marth. This is why you need to visit the village in chapter 21, so that Mishiel will give you the Starlight Tome, because otherwise you can't kill Garneth and get the Falchion. I've tried attacking Medeus with Linda, and even though she has the stats to deal enough damage to like deal damage to him, Medeus has like this dark orb effect, and that the other characters just straight up aren't allowed to attack him. But that's not all. Medeus is also surrounded by 4 maidens. You know, the 4 maidens. If you manage to kill Medeus before rescuing or killing all 4 of these maidens, Medeus will fucking eat one of them and restore back all of his health. So you absolutely must deal with the maidens first by recruiting them with the characters who are worried about them, or just straight up killing them if you're a fucking asshole, or one of your dudes is dead, or you didn't bring the dudes necessary to recruit them onto your side. But that's not all! See, every turn, Earth Dragons will ambush spawn out of the 5 skulls surrounding Medeus, and you cannot block these spots. Remember how just one of those Earth Dragons was the final boss of Book 1? Well, now you have to deal with an endless sea of them. Luckily, the Shield of Seals will send them back into the ground at the start of each player phase, but that still means they get to pull a cheap shot on you each turn. What's worse is that attacking Medeus puts you in the range of every single one of them. Basically, surviving even a single turn against Medeus and his cronies is a matter of luck. Or is it? So there's Julian, he's talking to Rena. And, you know, I think this is actually the turn where I fight Medeus, which, when you guys see the fucking battle animation, it's gonna blow your mind. So anyway, let's just have them do their talkie thing, because I don't want to miss commentating on the fight itself, because it's fucking awesome to look at. Come on. Oh, call me Miss Rena no more. Call me Rena because I love you. I do like these conversations here. The fact that each person is like saying, please don't give up, you know, there's something very, again, it just tugs at my heartstrings for some reason. Oh, here it comes. Oh, maybe not. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. You guys ready for this fucking battle animation? Holy shit! Look at that fucking shit. I didn't even know the Super Nintendo was capable of those graphics. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is what Medeus actually looks like. Still, holy shit, he looks menacing, right? He could also just straight up eat Marth. Like, just, oh, that's it. And he doesn't fucking do it, because he wants Marth to smell his stinky breath for some reason. Like, come on, dude. You have to have a better strategy than that. Here we go. Oh boy, this is the one that gets me a little, this one especially hits me right in the feels. You know, Minerva's just like, no, Maria, it's okay. You don't have to deal with the nightmares anymore. And Maria's like, is Mishiel okay? And Minerva's just like, yeah, he's fine. And Maria's just like, great, we'll be a happy family again. And meanwhile, she doesn't know that Mishiel's dead. That's so fucking sad. It's so much dramatic irony. Anyway, who gives a shit? That's Camus, aka Sirius. He has a bitch back in FE2 that he'd rather fuck than Nina. But Nina recognizes him and is just like, oh, you're Camus! And he's like, no, you must forget. I'm sorry. Oh, it's so special and special. Anyway, we're gonna have one more animation and then we're gonna get this shit right on the road. Oh, you shouldn't be a weak person. I don't know. Nina's been... What has she contributed at all? She gave Marth the Fire Emblem. And I think that's the end of her list. Well, whatever. Anyway, Sirius, or Camus here, is married to one very cute babe in FE2, or Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. Check out her art in Shadows of Valentia. Her name's, I think, Tita, or Titania, or whatever. She's got green hair, and she looks like a fucking Greek goddess. I am definitely gonna be using her in my playthrough, let me tell you something. Cause, that hair, very lovely looking. Anyway, Batman, he's just like, Alice, it's me, open your eyes. It is not what I do, it's not who I say, but who I am that defines me. And Alice is like, Batman? No. Bruce! No, you mustn't say my real name, not in front of the others, because the Joker is among Marth's ranks. You must keep it a secret. I will take you to Alfred. Anyway, we're gonna continue the battle with Medivh. So you might have noticed that all my dudes can move again, despite the fact that, you know, they already ended their turn and shit. Well, that's because I saved up the Against staff just for this fight. In case you forgot, the Against staff allows all your allies to move again in the same turn, including your Dancer. This means you can cast again, use Fina to dance for your staff user, rinse and repeat until you run out of staff uses. I find that a guaranteed victory requires at least 2 casts with the Against staff. 3 if Marth fails to get a critical hit, like he got a critical hit here, so I was lucky. Considering Marth just got the falchion literally 5 seconds ago, it really feels like you're fighting tooth and nail to win this battle. I can actually picture Marth being haphazardly tossed the falchion as he rushes panickingly to smack Medivh in the face with it. It all feels so desperate, so last minute. It's fucking incredible. And once you finally get the last hit in, you're on top of the world, because that's the end of the game, bitch! And you know, Medivh says as usual, so long as there's evil in this world, I'll return, because eventually they'll lose the Shield of Seals. But that's it for this part. Stay tuned for the conclusion.
I need someone to review my FE hack. He needs to be someone who won't cut me slack. It's Monkey Joe, he's arrived from his